Right, you have made it all the way to Module 7.2. We're still talking about the decision criteria. Let's go to slide 2. So what we're going to talk about now is, because we're at the point where a customer is going to be making a decision, so we have to be bringing back in a few things we've talked about earlier. And one of those are the tools for selling value. So some of the tools that we've learned is to verify and clarify. When you say blank, you mean what exactly, right? So that's a tool. Verify and clarify. What about the pain? Did you find any pain? Remember, we talked about pricing and that the absence of pain, you're going to be viewed as a commodity, which is going to be price-based, which we don't want, right? Rapport. Do they like you, right? The more rapport you have, the more influence you have. We also talked about your attitude about money. This is when it will typically show up. We also talked about overcoming objections, going for no, and mind reading. So some questions that will help you at this phase is, especially if you're getting resistance. It seems like you don't think we have any added value to this project to justify spending a little bit of more money or more time with me. It seems solving this the right way the first time, even if it does cost a little more, isn't worth it to you. Even if you could get this done right and minimize the usual issues, it's not worth a few extra bucks to avoid these issues. So what you're doing here is, these are questions to go for no. No. So we want to ask these questions because what you have to learn how to do is to get the in the way in the way. So let's talk about the benefits of that, of added value. So the benefits of added value, if you're selling against a lower cost competition, you need to be able to demonstrate one or more of the following. Maybe it's a lower cost of ownership. It may cost more, but if it lasts longer, needs fewer repairs, needs fewer service calls, doesn't need to be replaced as frequently, that's a lower cost of ownership. The value of your expertise. What are you bringing to the table that sets you apart from your competition? The relationship they have with you. Again, bonding and rapport. Potential additional profits going with your solution. Maybe you offer better terms, higher price but better terms. I know I've bought several laptops on QVC simply because they offered monthly payments. So it made the terms better. Maybe I paid $100 more, but I got better terms. Peace of mind. If you're the trusted solution in your marketplace, can you provide your clients any verifiable peace of mind? Maybe it's the uniqueness of your solution or how unique it is for your customer. Exclusivity. Is it easy or convenient access, easier to use? So these are all areas where you can look at to make sure that you have added value. So one of the things we're going to talk about next on slide 4 is decision making. Now when it comes to decision making, there's two types, internal and external. Internal decision making is, are they going to make a picture in their mind, internal in their mind? Auditorily, is it based on something they hear or say to themselves? Kinesthetically, how they feel. External drivers are other decision makers, the ability to make decisions, acceptable commitment to solve problems. These are all external factors. Your company as a solution provider, your decision-making criteria. You as a salesperson, you as a company, your delivery time, your schedule. So these are all external factors. All right, let's take a look at slide number 5. So this is the power of NLP. Not only can it help us with bonding and rapport, it's also very powerful if you understand how to use it during the decision step. So as you can see on slide 5, mode, emphasis, strategy, decision criteria. Let's talk about these, the modes. So visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. So let's take the visual right across and take a look at how that applies. So if you remember from Module 1, visuals, the solution, they will be making their decision visually based on how things look. What's important and what you want to emphasize is what they're going to see. How are things going to be different? How do you convince somebody whose decision criteria is visual? You show them pictures, videos, graphs, slides as a way to support your solution. The decision criteria is it needs to look good. Again, look good is one of those things you're going to need to verify and clarify. Let's take auditories. Auditories, the emphasis will be on how it sounds and what one can hear, what others say about it. So the strategy is to tell them your solution, to talk about it, to present your solution inside of stories to support the decision. It needs to sound good. And then with kinetics, it's important is how it feels. Make them comfortable with how owning or buying your service will affect them. Slow down. Emphasize texture. Let them touch whatever they can touch. One of the things I work with is a lot of painters, and I'm always encouraging them. Let people touch. Let them feel what the difference will be like on an A job versus a subpar job, because it needs to feel right to a kinesthetic. So determining criteria, slide 6. What you want to ask is, the last time you used a service like mine, how did you know you were making the right decision? Usually they will say, well, I'm going to look at 2 or 3 people and see who's the best. Well, I'm going to talk to a couple people and I want to hear what they have to offer. Or, I'm gonna meet with a few contractors and get a feel for who we like best. So you'll hear things like that. They'll literally tell you. Let's go to slide 7. So clients are going to evaluate you based on visually by what they see. Visually is what they see. So you're going to want to emphasize visual words, auditories by what you say, kinesthetics by how you feel. We covered all of this in Module 1, but we're really going back to is on slide 8, representational systems. Just like what we said in Module 1, our ability to influence and lead others comes down to our own flexibility in our own communication style. Meaning, if you tend to present visually, if you tend to present auditorily, if you tend to present kinesthetically, you may want to look at adapting how you present, because if you match and mirror the way your customer buys, you'll want to present that way. And that takes flexibility, because you'll be creating this state we call rapport through the techniques called pacing. Pacing is the art of matching and mirroring your client's representational system, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Why do we do that? Because when people are making a decision, the people they trust are the people they perceive most like them. So, slide 9, visuals. They're going to take your words and your actions and they're going to be turning them into pictures. Help them out. Give them the picture. If you only use the spoken word, you will not paint a very clear picture. They're making a decision. We want to find out, are they going to be making pictures? Do we need to present visually in order to convince them? Do we need to present auditorily or kinesthetically? All right, I want you to read these 3 sections on page 9, and then go ahead on page 10, and I want you to just jot down some notes. All right, I will see 7.3 in decision-making criteria.